Now, before I go to my question, the statement that I would like to make is that you're asking the wrong people for the solution. You're asking Ben Bernanke for the solution of the global economic problem. He is the one who's created it. So you're asking the bankers how to solve a problem. That's wrong. They create the problem. You can't ask them how to solve it. Correct? Okay. Now the next thing is that yes, we can live without the banks because they've been around for the past 300-400 years. We've been living for many years before that. The solution is in the muamalah, get into real business, okay? And the solution is in the Quran. One of it is that just pay them the principal and don't pay them the interest. That's what they need to do actually to solve the economic problem, okay? My question straightforward to Sheikh Imran Hussain, what are the role of the ulama? It's so baffling. Why are they being so silent, number one? Or why are they knowing the fact that they are wrong, they still endorse it? And why is that we have to follow that particular group of ulamas who come out and say that yes, this is Islamic, that's Sharia compliant, who come from that particular part of the world? Because I find that there is two distinguished points. When there are ulamas who are not from that particular part of the world say something, it's not accepted because it is not from that school or not from that university or not from that organization. Why is that the ulama are so silent, number one, and why are they the ones who condone this? What are they? Don't they know these problems? And why is this happening, Sheikh Imran? Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Hadith of the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. Listen carefully. Yushiku ya'ti ala nasi zaman. It will not be long before that time will come upon you. Meaning akhiru zaman. La yabqa min al-Islam illa ismu. When nothing will remain of Islam but the name. This is not Imran Hussain, eh? This is Nabi Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam speaking. So don't be angry with me. وَلَا يَبْقَى مِنَ الْقُرْآنِ إِلَّا رَسْمُ. And when nothing will remain of the Qur'an but the traces of the writing, mechanically recited, nobody following the Qur'an. مَسَاجِدُهُمْ. I'm not talking Musha'alam, eh? مَسَاجِدُهُمْ آمِرَةٌ وَهِيَ خَرَابٌ مِنَ الْهُدَى. The masajid, plural of masjid, at that time, would be grand structures, impressive structures, but devoid of guidance. Now listen to the last piece. Ulama'uhum, the ulama of that age of darkness. Sharrun nasi mimman tahta adimis sama. The ulama of that age of darkness, when nothing remains of Islam but the name, would be the worst people beneath the sky. Said Nabi Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. Min indihim takhrujul fitna wa fihim ta'ud. They would be the centers of corruption, corrupting the people. So this is an ominous warning to us concerning the quality and the status of ulama in the age of fitan. I have reached the state of frustration now. So as a result of this, I am now saying, if you differ with me when I say that this paper money is bogus and fraudulent and haram, if you differ with me when I say that this so-called Islamic banking has backdoor riba in it, well, fine, let the people choose. And if they are blind, they'll choose blindly and they'll pay the price for it. Because the people must have the choice to make. We don't want to take that away from them. But if you come after us and you say that we are wrong, and you want to silence us, then we will respond with this challenge after we have no more patience. We say, come, you and I, and let us raise our hands and pray to the one who always listens, and ask him to curse and to punish with eternal punishment whosoever is wrong on this issue. Come, that's our challenge to you.